So we'll make a spinner from scratch today. What we'll need is I'm going to make the blade from scratch. So we need a template. So I've chosen Mepps aglia long size 00 blade. Need a lure body. You can buy lure bodies, or you can make them out of beads, tungsten or brass beads, whatever your choice is. Tungsten weighs quite a lot more than brass. So if you want a heavier spinner, use tungsten ones. If you want it a bit lighter, use brass ones. Brass beads are cheaper than tungsten beads, so it's up to you. I use tungsten beads because I like the longer casting distance with them. And that's usually why I make like custom spinners or homemade spinners. I change the properties of them from the commercial ones you buy. Need a Clevis, bearing bead, and some inline spinner wire shanks. You can pick these up on eBay. You'll need a brass sheet as well. I can't remember the thickness of it, but I'll put it in the description. I'll put all the details of the build in the description, and then it makes it easier for you. When it comes to tools, need a spoon. Need some drill pliers or round nose pliers. A scribe. Some scissors, or even better, probably tin snips. We'll get to that. When we get to that, I'll explain why. Pair of pliers and some good side cutters for cutting the stainless steel shanks. So, step one. A couple of ways to do this. You can just cut out a piece of brass, either hold it in place or put a piece of sticky tape on it, and then you can scribe around it with a scribe, or you can use a pen and draw around it, or you could photocopy the blade and cut out a little template for it, stick it on with some sticky tape, and then just cut round it. What you'll need to cut the brass is either a good pair of scissors. These are hairdressing scissors, and I've just had them for years, and that's why I use them. They're stainless steel, so they're a lot harder than the brass. They'll cut this like butter. But the best tool for the job is probably just a little pair of tin snips. I don't have any, so I just use these instead. So stick that on, cut around it. I'd show you on camera me cutting it out. I've got to hold it really close to my face, if you know what I mean, to be able to see what I'm doing. But it's just the same as if you traced anything onto a piece of paper and then just cut around it. It's pretty easy. Brass is pretty soft. Pretty soft and easy to work with. So this is one I made earlier, and I didn't make it perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. You can make it as perfect as you want it to be, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Basically, that one is just raw cut out. You could take a small file or some sandpaper and make it perfect. It's up to you. They work just as good being imperfect, and I think they give off a little bit different vibration because they're a little bit, homemade. The next step would be, we need to put a hole in it. So you could take your original blade, put it on top. Again, you can use a piece of sticky tape to hold it together or something like that. Either just drill a little hole in there, or what I do is I take my scribe and I just put it where I want it, smack it with a hammer, and then work it through. Something like that. And when we've got to this point, you can just work the scribe through it, and you should end up with a somewhat decent hole. The scribe is a lot harder than the brass, so it will work its way through. And it's a bit risen there, so we'll file that down or sand it down. So just a little bit of 120 sandpaper, and we'll just take that burr off. That looks alright to me. Again, if you wanna make it perfect, you know, just sand the sides a little bit and get it a bit more even. I like mine to have a little bit of a homemade look. Again, a little piece of wood, hammer, just hammer it flat again so it's somewhat even, and it should look something like that at this stage. Now we're going to need a spoon and some sticky tape that I've put somewhere else. 2 seconds. I found the sticky tape. So yep, just bog standard sticky tape, nothing fancy. There's a piece like that. Put your blade in the spoon and try and get it as centered as you possibly can. Something like that. So now we've got it somewhat centered in the spoon, and we don't want too much of a bend in it, just not bend, what is it, curve, or yeah, not too much, just a little bit. As you can see, these are not the originals, they're not bent too much. There's not too much of a curve in them. To put the curve in it, you something with a bit of a rounded bottom on it. This is a brush, what is it, toothbrush handle. I just went looking around the house and tried to find something, but you'd all have at home. I'm trying to make this as basic as possible without any fancy tools. If you do have a ball peen hammer or something like that, you can use it. Just go slow if you're using anything that is harder than the brass, because you'll deform it. So just go lightly and slowly. You can use a hammer and, you know, hammer it until you get the bend in it, or you can massage it. You can massage the bend in just like that. This will take a little bit longer time, but it's doable. I'll go with the hammer and just dunk 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 until you get a curve in it. Once you've got your curve in it, you can take the tape off and everything, because if it's wrong, all you have to do is take your piece of wood again, lay your blade on it, smack it with a hammer, and it'll go flat again, and then you can retry it. But once you're happy and you've got your curve in it, we'll move on to the next step. So now we've got a slight bend in this blade, and that should work. I'll show you, well, I can't show you how to test them, but I'll tell you how to test them once we get to that stage. Next stage would be, I'm going to put bend in the, what is it, wire shank. I'm just going to do it quickly. So, and I'll show you quickly as well. Just bend it like that, about 45-degree angle, somewhere like that. If you want to know how to exactly move your pliers and all that, again, watch watch part 1 because it's exactly the same thing I'm doing there. Something like that. So, if you wanted to use lure body, you slide your lure body on. Again, you can buy lure bodies. I'm not going to be using a what is it, lure body for this video. We're going to use some tungsten beads. What colour you want is up to you. I think I'll go with pink and black. So these are 0.6 gram tungsten beads. I think we'll use 3, I think might be enough. We'll see. So slide these on. Just like that. I think 3 should be enough. Get something like that. We're going to need a bearing bead as well, wherever I put that. Bearing bead next. Put this bearing bead on. Like that. This is size extra small Clevis. That on like that. And so let's see, this one on that way. There we go. That should spin around nicely. Now, when you get to this stage, this is really where you want to test if your blade spins alright. Usually what I do is I just fill up the bathtub a little bit and I just drag it along, and if it spins up easy then it works. Other ways of doing that, I don't know really. You could just take it, I suppose you could just take it to, like, I don't know, some sort of water source where you can just run it for like a what is it, a yard of water would be enough. A yard, a metre of water lengthwise, and just drag it and see but it spins. Another thing with the blades is but the weight of the blade is pretty important. A heavier blade will spin slower. A lighter blade will what is it, spin faster. Of course, in the end, if the blade is too heavy, it won't spin at all. If it's too light, it won't spin. So you got to find a sweet spot. But you can play around with that a little bit. Like if you want it to spin a little bit slower, just use a little bit thicker what is it, sheet of brass, and that'll make your blade spin slower. If you want it to spin faster, use a thinner brass. So I'm happy with that now, so we're just going to put the final twist in it. And again, it's the same twist we used before. Same bend, twist, bend, whatever you want to call it. So there we go. All we need to do is put a small split ring on and a hook. So I've got some hooks and I've got some split ring pliers as well. You don't need split ring pliers, but it just saves your fingernails. I'm going to be using size 10, what is it, spoon hook. I think size 10 would be the biggest hook you would use, and you could go all the way down to size 12 if you wanting to catch the really small ones. I like a size 10 hook in general. It just stops it stops the smaller guys from getting deep hooked when they're aggressive. So that's why I use a little bit bigger hook. It stops them from swallowing the lure. So split ring. Next we'll put the hook on. Now you have a homemade size 00 willow leaf blade spinner. The blade is not the prettiest, but like I say, you make it as pretty as you want it to be. It works fine just the way it is like that. If you have any questions or anything like that, just leave a comment. It was just a quick guide how to make a spinner from scratch. The lure body, there's tons of different variations you could do with it. Just up to you. In your creativity. You can make them all different colours, different sizes, different shapes, all that. I don't know. We could future videos. Maybe we could make some little bit bigger spinners for trout, and maybe could do some big pike spinners. Do I have it here? I've got a big pike spinner. This isn't finished, but you'll get the idea. So if you want to see something like that, maybe we could do that in the future. Here's it's a big. This one needs finishing. It needs it needs an epoxy coat on it, and I'm gonna paint a black spine on it, darken it a little bit more, and add some some black tinsel to it. But yeah, something like that. That's a pretty big boy. These work great for pike. So maybe I could do something like that in the future if you're interested in seeing something like that. Try to stick to trout as much as I can on the channel, but I don't know. I think we've definitely done spinners to death, and we've done a lot of trout fishing. So I'm trying to figure out new things to add to the channel without it being repetitive. Me catching trout is like I've put so many videos up of that, so I don't know if you're getting bored with it, but leave me some feedback, and if you've got any good ideas for content, let me know, and I'll do my best to make them and upload it. But thanks for watching, and like I say, all the parts and stuff like that, what I've used, thickness of the brass and all that I'll put it down in the description, so it's easy for you to go through it. But again, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for all the nice comments you guys leave. I do really appreciate it. I enjoy chatting to you all. It's this channel ain't all about me. I enjoy the community side of it. That's the biggest part of it for me. I just enjoy chatting to you guys, and I learn a lot from you guys just reading the comments, and it's fun to interact with you. So again, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.